The crowd are here and it's brilliant to see them lining the track here in Albert Park. It's going to be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome everybody to the Australian Grand Prix. So here we are at Albert Park Circuit, 3.28 miles around, with the streets making for a bumpy surface with little undulation. There are 14 corners around the lake, with the best passing opportunities coming at turn 1 and turn 3. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and the smooth operator Carlos Sainz completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Perez, Lando Norris and Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Ricciardo, Leclerc and Harris, Gasly, Bottas, Guan Yu Zhou and Ocon, Mick Schumacher, Magnussen, Alex Albon and Yuki Tsunoda, Vettel, Richard Verschoor, Stroll and Nicholas Latifi.
Hello and welcome to episode 3 of this career mode. It's going to be a very exciting race. We have qualified P10, a very shock qualifying actually. The pace didn't feel very good, but we hooked up a very decent lap, must be said. And so we've got to actually try and capitalise on that, as it may be one of the few occasions during the season where we can try and bag some points. So that being said, let's hope that we get a good race start. Let me just figure out the strategy and we will get underway. Starting on the dirty side of the grid, that's not particularly favourable, I will say. Okay, good. Very good stuff. Hopefully we can get a good launch. I'm not quite sure, we'll see. Here we go. Decent launch. Could have been better. But we didn't get swamped as much as I thought we would. Okay. Clean getaway at least. Gonna try and chuck one up the inside of Gasly. Didn't particularly work out there. But we'll have more opportunities, I dare say. Seem to be very fast in the slow corners once again. But I will freely admit that we do not have the straight line speed to tackle the rest of the drivers. Look at that. This should not be a circuit in which we get a good result, but you know he's going to go around there outside. Jesus, wet. It's going to be such a difficult race. I know the other drivers are using their battery, but we can't afford to use all of our battery either. Third sector is kind of where we lose all of our pace, so we're going to have to just defend hard, and hopefully we can keep the DRS on the drivers in front of us. Oh, very, very unsteady off of that corner there. Just got to use our battery energy as much as possible. We're still within DRS, so that's good. And I must say, Magnussen has actually dropped out of our DRS. That's interesting. Look at that, they're absolutely steaming away from us. But hopefully with the DRS next lap, we'll be able to keep in touch. Lot of understeer, we're going to have to use the boost. Get ourselves back in contention here. Gasly and Ricciardo going side by side. That's going to help us, but it's not going to help them. As Ricciardo gets passed by Gasly, it must be said quite easily, Gasly getting past there. That's not going to be encouraging for the McLaren boys, as Magnussen has closed in within DRS of us.
DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Okay, no DRS at the moment. Battery is getting drained quite a bit. We're going to go for a move here. It looks like Ricciardo is very slow. He might have damage. We can't really afford to get stuck behind him. Got to try and use as much as of the battery as possible to keep it in with a chance. Ricciardo is a long way behind. I will freely say that we do not have currently the pace really to challenge the guys. Again, we seem to be very, very quick in that middle sector. Gasly is very slow, one or the other. Taking a few liberties with the curbs. Just trying to do as much as possible here. Our battery's very low though. Ooh, yellow flag. Who's had some problems? Don't particularly know what's going on there.
Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
I'm not sure about boxing this lap, to be fair.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Then stupid question, engineer, why are you boxing me this lap? We want to remain on the faster tyre if possible. Okay, we're about to lose DRS on Gasly, unfortunately, so we're going to have to push really hard and get a warning for a corner cut, but that keeps us within DRS. Using the rules as much as possible. Ricciardo in the pits, interesting. Our car is not very good on the curbs, so we're going to have to just avoid them as much as possible. We have no battery at all. Nothing really left. We're going to drop outside of the DRS, unfortunately. We're going to box this lap, I think. Yep, and with that, we are outside of the DRS, unfortunately. So into the pits we must go. So into the pits comes Gasly. Along with us, here we go. Let's see it. I hope it's a good stop. We need a good stop. Please do not screw us over. Please, 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 please. Lando Norris coming out just behind us. Please, a good stop. It's not a good stop. It's not a good stop. And we're being held as well. Oh my god, what a disgrace. 5.7 seconds. There's Ricciardo. And there's Valtteri Bottas, so that is very unfortunate. And as we are not particularly in great shape in terms of tyre temperatures, we need to keep DRS on Bottas though, if we can. Who's that coming out of the pits? They're going to block us. Oh, the Haas driver blocked us there. And we've lost the DRS. That is very, 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 very unfortunate. Maybe we can get it back. Nah, we're going to give them DRS as well. That is very, very, very unfortunate. And we drained the last of our battery, so there's no overtake left. I'm very unsportsmanlike of Schumacher to block us like that out of the pits, but what can you do? The only thing we can do is try and close back up on Bottas. But it's going to prove a very difficult task to do. We just don't have the grip to do it. Schumacher really cost us the DRS there, and we're fighting ever so hard to gain the DRS back on Bottas, but our straight line speed is down at least 4/10. We've got no battery left. We cannot afford to use the battery. We can't even get up into 8th gear, for God's sakes, with this engine. Look at that. We're losing 4/10 on the straight. And for a track that is pretty much straights all the way, the fact that we're even fighting maybe for points is somewhat of a miracle, but we've got a long bit of work to do here. Going to have to start taking a few risks here if we want points. We need to pass Bottas to have any chance. We need a retirement for somebody as well. But it does not look like the racing gods are on our side at the moment. It's a positive step forwards, though, in terms of car performance. So our development work is at least doing the business somewhat. But the fact that Schumacher is now 6/10 behind us is not a great sight, to be honest. Bottas is 1.4. So the funny thing is right now is we are closing in on Bottas, and Schumacher is closing in on us, and Ocon is closing in on Schumacher. There is no way I can see this going wrong whatsoever. This is going to be a very clean race with absolutely no drama whatsoever. We're out of battery once again. I don't even remember using overtake mode, so it might just be that we are draining the battery naturally, let's call it, around this circuit. Certainly did not have that problem at Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, but that is the world of Grand Prix for you. 8/10 to Schumacher. Schumacher has had a dreadful last sector there, maybe battling with Ocon, and that might help us out a little bit. 1.3, this is the closest we've been, but something tells me it's no cigar for DRS. 1.2. We're just slow in the few corners before the DRS zones, but Schumacher is outside of DRS. He's just going to get it because we're very slow in a straight line. Okay, Schumacher is now outside of the DRS, so we're going to do everything possible to catch Bottas now. Our rear flank is secure. Now we've got to counter-attack and go on the hunt for Bottas here. Not many laps remaining though. We've got enough fuel to the end at least. That is some good news. Absolutely throwing it onto the grass for that corner. I'm going to use my battery in an attempt to catch Bottas here. Come on, please give us DRS. Please, 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 please. It's not going to be enough, is it? We have DRS. We have DRS. Oh my god, it's happening. We need our battery back now. Must be said, the one thing we need to work on with this car is traction. It does seem that the car is just not fast out of corners, and that's exactly where we need it to be fast. The traction zones are where we lose at least a couple of tenths, and we're actually outside of the DRS zone of Bottas once again. My engineer's telling me to manage my tyres, I'm telling him to sod off. Got DRS still, but it does look like we have run out of steam here a little bit, which is kind of ironic, seeing as the entire Grand Prix we have been basically wishing to get DRS, and now that we've got it, we can't really do anything with it because of our straight line speed. Our straight line speed is effectively equivalent to the other car's straight line speed without DRS. So no matter what we do, unless we deploy all of our battery down the straights, which we don't have anyway, there's no real opportunity. Car behind's got damage now, Schumacher. This is the last lap of the race. Realistically, we're not going to get a shot at Bottas, unfortunately, but the fact that we can keep pace with him at least is very, very encouraging for the rest of the season. We will get our chance. We will have our chance at points. It's just that today is unfortunately not our day. Yeah, 1.8 now to Ocon, who has overtaken Schumacher. Ocon is closing in at a vast rate of knots. We might actually have to defend from him on the last corner here. He was 2 seconds back, and now all of a sudden he's 1 second back. Going to deploy some ERS to make sure, but my god. Who would have thought that Alpine has quite a bit of power behind it. 0.8 of a second. I don't think it's going to be enough for Ocon, unless we royally screw up into the last turn here. But we're going to be okay, I think. Oh, that was a bit close out of the last corner there, but across the line we come in P12. Just so close to the points, no cigar, unfortunately. But that's how it goes. A vast improvement on P17. P12 is very close to the points, so let's see if we can develop the car even more in the next race.
Another superb Australian Grand Prix comes to an end then, and it's a thoroughly deserved victory. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we could talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, that's when you see results like those that we've witnessed today.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they've secured here.
So there we have it. Max Verstappen takes a very comfortable victory ahead of Carlos Sainz and George Russell. In terms of points, Daniel Ricciardo was our target. We couldn't keep within DRS range of either Gasly or Ricciardo. They finished about 10 seconds up the road. If we discount the DRS that we had from Valtteri Bottas. We were very lucky to defend from Ocon at the ends there. I think Mick Schumacher actually did us a favour in that race, defending, even though blocking us hindered us in the first place. If we look at our best lap, that is really telling in the fact that we were more than 6/10 off of Daniel Ricciardo's sort of average lap time, I think. So work to do in the factory, as they say. But from where we started, that was a very good result, and on one of the tracks with the longest straights, really, and the most emphasis on top speed, we did really well. No points today, but we will try and make amends in the next couple of races. Thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.